My name is Sok Kyong. I grew up in Northern California, primarily in Monterey County. I think it wasn't until college where I really felt the weight of my sin and really understood why I needed Jesus. I've been at ANCC since roughly the summer of 2015, so about 5 years. We came here because we were part of a church plant that closed doors. And when the church plant closed doors, we got the people that want to stay together at our house, and we kind of talked about, hey, you guys check out this church, you check out that church. And we came, and I really liked the fact that there was this idea of interdependence that the church was going to. I think there's a lot of churches that tried it where it failed, but it looked like in this situation, like both pastors were on board. Everybody was trying to do, I guess, the gracious thing in this whole situation. I've never seen a church reach out to the community, a Korean church reach out to the community as much as ANCC has. I told the people that came here that this is different. I really, truly trust, right, the leadership. It's this idea of, I trust it. I believe that they are trying to pursue God's glory in the decisions that they make. So for me, that's what gives me hope. And I hope that I could be an individual where someone looks at me and says, oh, okay, he's one of the guys that I trust to make these decisions for this ministry as a whole. It's almost like you're taking the responsibilities that you have as a father and husband at home and bringing it over to the church and saying, this is my extended family, my real spiritual family as well. You protect your family, you provide for your family, you lead spiritually your family. But then it's the same responsibilities that you have as an elder at ANCC, right? You feed, you lead by example, and you protect. Just a physical protection. I have a responsibility to this church and this ministry that you need to physically protect the members, whether it be during the pandemic with illness and things like that, or if it's people coming in from outside the church and you feel like you might have to physically protect and things like that. That's one aspect of it. And of course, I have to protect spiritually, right? You can't glorify God without the gospel. You'll fail. You can't have true interdependent churches loving and showing grace to one another without the gospel. You might succeed for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you probably will fail. You can't make real disciples, right, of all nations and generations and truly be effective and without the gospel. You'll fail. It should be new all the time because you're seeing the depths of your sin a little bit more every day as you experience it. And as you experience God, God's bigger every day. We are sort of like a community church, right? So the way we look is not going to be exactly the same as the way the demographics in this area are, right? And in spite of that, in spite of our differences, because of Christ, we come and we want to love you. We want to share the gospel with you. So hopefully that could be something where someone looks at this and says, oh, that's different. They don't need to be here. They want to be here. Then we would have an answer for them, and we would present the gospel. We would present the reason we love you is Christ loved us, and we are called to love you and make disciples of all nations, right? Whether or not you look like us or not. We're saying these things, and we're saying we are our own ministry, and we have our own, this and that. But how's it going to really? Are we really going to feel that way as people are moving from like the education department into ANCC, right? Are they going to have that mindset? Okay, now we are adults. Korean American churches and just EMs in general, they tend to rely on the big, I guess, brother, if you want to call that, of KM. Struggle, I think, is going to be really believing and really practically living out the idea that we are our own church and our own body. I know it sounds like a Christian attitude, but rely on Christ, right? The God of the universe, the creator of all things, he cares for you personally. So when you have difficulties, when you have loneliness, when you have hardships, he knows. He's not just some person way out there that has never felt these things. He knows, he cares, he loves, and hopefully through that you can be encouraged. I think for me it's the idea of having a home, right? The idea that my kids are going to be raised here, kind of this idea of, okay, we found our home church.